You wake up at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and the first thing you do is start scrolling on social media, watching TikToks, Reels, whatever. You're wasting your time. You know that you have a final exam 2 days later, but you're still not studying. You sit down to study for the exam, but you can't. You're always distracted and you can't just work. You're wasting time not studying productively. Studying productively changed my life. I went from a student who got 70% in his finals exam to someone who gets 90% consistently. So, I am going to share all the secrets that I use to study productively. Now, these techniques are used by the world's best, like Ali Abdal. These people highly recommend it and highly rate it. And you can see that it may be the reason for their success in their academic life. So, first of all, we need to understand the difference between studying and studying productively. In studying, you're just passively studying. The information that's coming into your mind isn't sticking inside your mind. It's just coming inside your mind and going. But when you're studying productively, you employ a number of techniques through which your studying goes from here till here. You become a giga chad in studying. And I'm going to tell you about those techniques. But first, if you are someone who struggles with productivity, discipline, and consistency, click the link in the description to book a free call with me so I can help you and give you a free bonus gift as well. And if you want more productive insights like these, you can subscribe to my email newsletter, which I will link down below. Now, what are the techniques that you can employ to start studying productively and effectively? The first one is setting a timer. Identify how much time your studying session would take. I prefer you actually study for at least 90 minutes at a time. So that would be one studying session. You set a timer for it, and then you set an end goal for it. So the end goal is going to be something that you're going to achieve when the studying session finishes. Now, what will this do? This will promote concentration from your brain. Your brain would want to achieve that goal. As humans, we are inclined to achieve what we set for ourselves. And then there's a locus rule as well, that work expands to fill the time allocated to it. If you give 90 minutes to yourself to prepare for a chapter that is going to come in the final exam, you are most probably going to achieve that goal if you work with intense concentration and focus. Now, the second technique that you can employ is something called spaced repetition, and this works super really well. And this is probably the best tip that you can get out of all of these. So what I will recommend is that you start studying a chapter. For example, you have a history exam and there's chapter 1. You start studying chapter 1 for 90 minutes and you finish preparing for chapter 1 in the work session. And then what do is that 2 days later you review the same chapter that you prepared for. This way the memory will be consolidated in your brain and you won't lose it. This works super well for me. And then the third technique that you can employ is something called active recall. This is quite a buzzword in the studying niche. So what do you do in it? So basically, in active recall, you your brain is forced to actively recall all the information that you just read. So how do you go about this? You read your course book one time, and then you either make flashcards by hand or you use a software like Anki, I think it's called. This way, your brain will be forced to consolidate all the memory that it processed in it. This way, your memory will get 100 times better and you will become more productive while studying. Now, the fourth thing that you can employ is removing distractions. You can't study productively when you're using your phone. Your phone is right beside you. You can't study when your phone is right beside you. If you do that, you're fucking mad. I want you to delete all the Instagram, to stop all the notifications from your phone so you're not disturbed. Or if you want to do even better, you can just take your phone and give it to your mom so you don't know where it is and you're not distracted by it. So, the fifth technique that you can employ is extreme focus and concentration, which we already employed with setting a timer and having an end goal. But what are some other things that you can do? Well, you can become familiar with studying by doing a study ritual, which is basically you do some kind of habit to get you into the mood of studying. Maybe it's moving to another desk in your room, or it's lighting a candle. That just motivates you to study even more. So those were the 5 simple steps to studying productively and actually seeing results while studying. If you like this video, don't forget to implement all of this. And remember, action over words.